Thank you for your support and for watching avivTarot. This is a general pick-a-card reading. Take what resonates with you and leave the rest behind. Not everything will apply. My readings are meant to be constructive and not destructive. I give readings to empower you. I will be honest in what I see and will not give you false hopes or empty promises in order to keep you happy. I will be compassionate and sensitive to your feelings and will not judge or condemn. Energies are ever-changing. You are still the master of your own destiny. Hi everyone, thank you for watching avivTarot, and today we are going to do another pick-a-card reading, and can you believe it, it's already at the end of January. So what we're going to do is your, I guess, love relationship life in the next 3 months. So what kind of things that you can expect. If you are single, then we can take a look at if there are any possibilities of you meeting someone. And if you are in a relationship, we can take a look at, if there's anything that you should watch out for, or there's nothing you have to worry about. Everything is smooth sailing, right? So it's just the next 3 months or so, 2 to 3 months. We're going to do a 9 cards lenormand read. So the past and the present, one of these, you can use it as a confirmation to see if this is the pile for you. So I will talk about the past and then also the present, and then we'll look into the future. So what you can expect in the next 2 to 3 months. What else? Oh, this is one of the topics that were voted, the second one that's voted most that people wanted to see. So this is why I'm doing this one. And the next one I noticed a lot of people are wanting to see is about work and career. Also possibility of school related stuff. So the next reading will be more about that. So without further ado, this is what we have. We have 4 different piles, 1, 2, 3, 4. You could choose the numbers, or you can choose the deck that you feel most resonated with or two. If you can't choose, I would say, close your eyes right now and really think about the question. What is going to happen in your love life in the next 3 months, right? Or so. And when you open your eyes, the first one that caught your attention, that's probably the pile for you. Okay, or maybe the message for you. All right, so we will start with pile number 1. If you need more time, you can pause the video. Timestamps are going to be in the description box below. All right, for pile number 1, okay, we're going to see love life in the next 3 months or so. What's gonna happen in the next 3 to, ooh, look at that, we got the heart. In the next 3 months or so, what's gonna happen in your love life in the next 3 months or so. Wow, the heart card keeps popping up. All right. Okay. Ooh, snake. Okay, we have the gentleman showing up here. Ooh, the key. Oh wow, right in the middle. Okay, wow. Oh, I was going to say the woman showed up too, but no. It's just a letter. All right. This is kind of interesting. We have I was going to say we have the birds in the letter, so there's communication for sure. So let's talk about the past and the present to see if this is the pile for you. The past is this one, the snake, the key, and the scythe. So that's kind of interesting. The snake, we know there's something, it could be something winding.
Sometimes for the people that chose pile number 1, the snake could also represent the other woman. Okay. I know this is a general pick a card. So for the snake, we will just use it as genderless. Okay, so it could be a man or a woman, but most likely a woman. But let's just say the snake is the third party. Okay, so it could be a man or a woman, most likely a woman, but we'll just say third party, because some people might refer themselves as women, even though it's whatever. You know what I mean, not whatever, but you know what I mean. All right, because nowadays we have those identifying things, so it's too complicated. So I'm just gonna say third party. All right, so there might be a third party situation that happened in your past with the key and then the scythe. So the scythe and the key, I would say there is a solution. It's a quick solution. Maybe there is a possibility that in the past that the third party decided to get out of this relationship, so you guys don't have to worry about the third party anymore. Or let's see, if there's no third party involved, the snake could also mean something winding. So maybe you've been single for a very long time, or you've been in a relationship for a long time. So if you are single for a very, very, very long time, with the scythe and the key, there was probably like a sudden ending of this like long wait of being single. So you met someone, okay? Or if you've been in a relationship for a very long time, maybe there was a sudden cut, okay, that you guys want to separate, and it's actually for the better for both of you, because we got the key in the middle. So like that was the solution. So maybe something that you guys didn't get along, or the relationship just got a little dull and too family like or something like that, and so you guys decided to separate, right? And you think, or you both think it's better for both of you. So if any of that situation fitted, let's take a look at the present. So if it didn't, listen to the present and see if this is still the pile for you. So now with the present over here, we have the star, the cross, and the birds. So there's some communication difficulties. The cross, there's like, it's very hard to confide, to tell, to really speak things from the bottom of your heart. Like the star with the cross is kind of interesting too, because the star is about guidance. It's also about dreams come true. The star with the cross could also, I would say, destiny, fate. So for those of you who have been single for a very, very long time, right, it feels like maybe you were destined to meet someone, because we have the birds, there's communication. So you've been talking to somebody, you feel like you met somebody that you really get along with, that you can share, share some thoughts and hobbies and stuff like that. But I still want to say the cross still gives that burden feel. So something is not working out for you. It could be that maybe you guys have different values, you have different background growing up, so there's maybe a little bit of culture clash, or maybe there's religion clash, value clash. Okay, so there is something that you guys don't see eye to eye. Okay, but you still have the communication and the star, so you still want to be with this person, you still want to try and figure it out and talk it out and see if you can have some kind of a compromise or something like that. But I don't think you guys are in like a relationship, but you're still in the workout phase. This is the present, right? So you guys are not technically together. So that's for the single people. But if you are in a relationship, then let's break it up into the two groups. The one that has the third party involved, right? So if you have a third party involved in the past, they probably broke up already. And I feel like if you do have a third party, maybe that is causing a little bit of strain on your relationship. So there's the burden. So like there's something you have to forgive. You have to like forgive and forget, but it's kind of hard, I feel like, because it's right in the middle. And then the birds is talking about the communication. So maybe every time you guys have an argument or have some sort of something, you like it's being brought up, right? And the star right above it, it's like you keep thinking about it, and you feel like, was it meant to be? Is this relationship meant to be? Should you get out of it or should you stay? So it's a lot of like thinking, a lot of talking about it, trying to figure things out, trying to compromise, like I said, forgive and forget, and try to make the relationship work. So it's like a lot of, maybe one that's having the third party, maybe they feel a little guilty about it, and you know, that type of things. So if it's not about the third party in the past, if there wasn't a third party and you guys were together, so in the past, I think there is a break of some sort. So maybe you got out of the relationship. And so now I feel like you have met someone. But like I said, it's kind of similar to that singles reading where you met someone, you feel like it's fate, but there is some sort of value or religion or culture or whatever it is that you guys clash a little bit. And so you're trying to compromise and work things out. Or maybe you don't want to be in a relationship because you just got out of one and they want one, right? So you don't see eye to eye. Or they don't want to be in a relationship and you want to be in a relationship or something like that. So there's something that you guys are trying to work out, okay? That's in the present. So now that's moving into the future. So in the next 3 to 6, in the next 3 months or so, okay, we have the gentleman, the dog, and the letter. So I think the relationship is going to get better, okay? Because we have the dog and the gentleman. Again, this is a general reading, so even though it's a gentleman, we are not going to, I'm going to take it as a man or woman. So this could represent you or your person. And the dog means it's very loyal, very, faithful, right? So this person, the person who had a third party, right, or the relationship that had a third party involved, I think moving on into the next 3 months or so, I think you're beginning to trust this person a little bit. So you guys are over the period of still doubting them. So you finally decided to maybe forgive them and let them redeem themselves, right, with the star. And then so in the future, you're going into the future, you guys are building the trust back with the letter. So you guys are constantly talking. Maybe they'll tell you where they are, or maybe you will tell them because maybe you have the third party. So you guys will constantly talking about it, telling each other where you're going and let them know so that you can build that trust back. For those of you who are single and then you met somebody and trying to compromise right here, I feel like you guys will meet someone, or sorry, I'm like stalling a little bit because I just got another message for the middle part, but I'll talk about that later. So those ones who are meeting someone, but there's not, values or something that's clashing right now, I think you guys will try to compromise. We have the letter and the dog. So I think things are going to work out. Things going into the future in the next 3 months is going to get better. You guys will work things out. You guys will trust each other a little bit more. So even with the differences, you guys will work things out. You'll talk about it more. Maybe if you can't, speak, this is more like verbal communication, then you decided to turn into more like written type of communication, or maybe more like serious type of communication, because I feel like birds is more like, casual, and this is turning more into like a serious relationship. So things are going to get into like a more serious mode. You guys are willing to work things out. The trust is starting to build. The relationship is starting to build. So it's a very good future. So now let's take a look at the middle part one more time, because I do have another one for the present. So for people who are single and you haven't met anyone right now, there is also a possibility of you just don't want to get into a relationship at all. Even maybe there are some people that you're talking to, but neither of you feel like it's like a relationship. It's more just like friendship, because you just don't want to get into a relationship. Okay. So for those of you who are just single, and right now you don't even meet anyone, maybe there's some friends, but that's it, right? So maybe you're just with the birds and the cross, maybe you're more like communicating with whatever, if you have any type of religion, maybe to your gods, to your gods and goddesses or spirits or the universe or whatever. So maybe you're just asking for some guidance, right? And then so with over here, now moving into the future in the next 3 months, I would say there are someone, maybe you will get into, you'll start talking a little bit more with someone who is your friend. So either you want to just, keep things casual and keep like having just friendships is enough for you, right? Or because there's no heart, okay? So, but we are talking about love. So with that in mind, there is a possibility of you getting into a relationship with someone who you trust a lot, who you are very good friends with. But if not, look at that, there's text coming in all over the place. Like the letter is about like, written communication and text and letters and stuff like that. So I think there's going to be a lot of like messages coming in and out with someone. Maybe there is like a proposal, not a proposal like to get married, but someone will tell you how they feel about you. So there is a possibility of getting into a relationship with someone who you're very good friends with. So whether if you want to accept it or not, that's up to you. Yeah, so looking at the diagonals, there is a possibility of breakups too. So people who are in a very difficult, because we do have the cross right in the middle being the cross. So like that's burden, that's guilt, that's just responsibility. So with the cross, the scythe, the cross, and the gentleman. So someone is going to cut out the burden, cut out the responsibility, cut out the guilt. So somebody is going to spill the beans and tell you something in the relationship, right? And then over here in this diagonal, we have the snake, the cross, and the letter. So if you are in a relationship and some of you guys might find out that there is a third party, right? With the letter, the cross. So there might be a third party situation that you might be finding out, and then you decide to cut out the relationship completely in the next 3 months. That's a possibility too. So it might not just happen in the present. Some of you guys, this might be still a continuation. And so there is going to be a breakup, maybe because you just don't want to think about it, don't want to talk about it. And the trust is broken. And so you just don't want to think about it anymore. Okay. So that is that. Okay. So that's what I see for pile number 1. If this resonated for you, that's great. And if this helped a little bit, if you have anything you would like to share with me, you can leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel under my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so for pile number 2, we have Okay, let's talk what's for pile number 2 in the next 3 months. What is going to happen in the next 3 months in regards to your love life? Okay, pile number 2's love life in the next 3 months. Okay. Okay. First one, the fox. Interesting. The sun, the crossroad. Oh, the dog. Okay. Oh my gosh, the snake keeps popping out. And it's like right in the middle. All right, the ship, the house, and the child. Okay. So now, for pile number 2, let's talk about the past and then the present to see if this is the pile for you. The past we have over here, the fox, the dog, and the ship. So I feel like with the fox and the ship, there is some traveling, okay, but it's more related to business. So like business trips and stuff like that. And then the dog with the fox, it could be business trips. So not by themselves, it's with a coworker, with someone, friends, that maybe they do work together, right? And they travel. Or the ship could also not just mean like travel, but it's like, doing business type of thing. So with the fox, the ship, and the dog, there is some kind of a business involvement, maybe with like a very good friend or a coworker turned into a friend. Fox usually it's about a 9 to 5 jobs, but for me, when I learned lenormand, the fox also meant like a side hobby turned into like a money making gig, okay, that you can get money from and to support your livelihood type of thing. So there is the possibility of doing business. So anyways, this is about like money making thing. Of course, it could be about someone who's very, very good with their words, like an ambassador, saying things that people want to hear, like a very good salesman. But in a relationship, I would say that in the past, your relationship is it's all about business. Or maybe friends, right? So most of the people that you hang out with are people that you work with or co-worker turned into friends. So even if you're in a relationship, your main focus, I feel like very oftentimes is maybe you work with your partner, right? Or your husband or wife, so that, you guys are also always work together. So that could be a possibility. Or if you're in a relationship, both of you guys are very, very concentrated on making money and just very, very busy with like making money, traveling, business trips, that type of things. If you're single, then your whole like life every day is about making money, maybe making new friends, or just friends with your coworkers, that type of things. And then it's like business trips, just only work type of things. Okay. So if that resonated, you can continue listening to the rest of it. It's past or present that matches, right? Because it's a general reading. So now the present, we have the sun and the snake and the house. It's kind of interesting that the snake happened right in the middle, and then we have like the dog in combination. Okay. So the snake could represent like a third party situation. So right now, there could be, let's talk about the possibility of having it being a third party person. So if you are in a relationship, or if you're single, maybe you found someone that you're interested in, there might be someone that is trying to get between your relationship at the moment, or at least the relationship. I don't feel like it's being settled yet. We do have the house, right? We do have the house. And then also, considering we have the crossroad right here, I feel like there is more than, it's not just, the relationship is not just simple two people. There's other people involved, okay, like a third party. Could be your job sometimes, like in the tarot cards, when you get that Two of Coins or something. Oh, there is something that they're trying to decide between. It could be works in some ways, because the snake could talk about being very, very winding and complicated, right? So you might be in a very complicated situation where you kind of want to settle, but you're not sure, you can't, maybe because your job is super busy, right? And you want to build a family, but then your whole current situation is complicated. Maybe you're still with another, you have a family with somebody else, right? But then maybe that I don't know if you're trying to get out of it or not. So there's like I feel like right now your relationship is very complicated. There's more than one person being involved. So you might have two choices. You might be married right now. You're trying to get out of it to be with someone that you like, because we have the sun right here. So the relationship is just not very easy and smooth at the moment. Maybe this is why you're here, trying to see what's going to happen in the next 3 months. Or if you are in a third party situation right now, I feel like in the present is being revealed. Okay, so the secret is not a secret anymore. Your other person found out about this third party, right? Especially if you're married, this third party is being disclosed or revealed, right, with the sun. So then now you're like, okay, well, and then it just makes things a lot more complicated. So now you're maybe being given the choice, like, are you gonna choose someone, or what are you gonna do, right? So if that resonated, so if you don't have a third party situation involved, right, because you could be single or whatever, the snake could also mean just someone who's being kind of sneaky. Maybe there's someone that you're eyeing on, someone wants to kind of interject themselves into that relationship between you and the person that you like. But it could just be very winding, like the person that you like, that you want to build a family with and have a happy family life with. It just gets really complicated. There's something always in the way. Could be your work. Every time you're trying to talk about something interrupt. It's kind of like in the movie, like when you're about to profess your love or something, there's a telephone ring, or somebody ring the doorbell, or it could be something as small as that, but it's just like interruption, or somebody like walk past like right in between you guys, or you're like, oh, what were we gonna say? So you're like, and then you lost the courage, right? So it just gets really complicated, or maybe you just couldn't find the timing to tell them what you think. So that is for someone who already have someone that they're thinking about having a family with. But if you're single, I feel like you kind of enjoy yourself. You're a very sexy person. It could usually it's a sexy woman, but since it's a general reading, we'll just make it genderless. So you could be a very sexy man or woman, and you really enjoy being single, right? Right now, you just enjoy being single, being by yourself, and you're enjoying every moment. You have a pretty good job, you travel, you're happy about it, right? So any of these, if it fitted you, let's take a look at in the future. So now in the next 3 months or so, we have the crossroads. So there is so for example, if you are in, not for example, but if you are in a 3-party, 4-party, 5-party, whatever, multiple parties situation, there is a choice coming up, okay, in the next 3 months. There's some sort of a choice that you have to decide. You have to make a decision. I feel like you will have something decided by the end of the 3 months, okay? The reason being, we have the child right here. So there's something you're trying to decide to have a new beginning with, or something like that. So something will be decided by the end of the 3 months. Whether if it's a 3-party situation or a 4, 5, 6 party, you're gonna decide what you're gonna do. There is a new beginning. You might cut out all the people and just start new, being single completely, or you're gonna pick who you want to be with. That's a possibility as well. Because right here, it doesn't really show like a cut or anything. So that is more up to you what you wanted to do. But it's showing a new beginning. Or maybe you're gonna choose the person that has the kid. So you're gonna choose to be with the person that have your kid or something like that, right? Or you're gonna choose the person to be with the guy that gave you a child, something like that. Okay, so with the child. So that's the people with 3 people or multiple people situation. So if you're completely single, happy right here, is there a possibility of meeting someone? I would say yes, because we have the clover leaf. That means very, very lucky. You're gonna maybe meet someone just like you, totally unexpected. Maybe just when you're traveling, right? Because we have the ship in the road. Maybe when you're traveling, you met someone and you're like, well, we could think about it. And I feel like the relationship is kind of casual. It's very fun, and playful type of vibe. So you're like, well, yeah, let's see what happens. Okay, so you're not gonna completely reject, even though you enjoy your singleness. You're not gonna completely reject whoever that comes along your way, as long as they keep it casual and not putting pressure on, like, okay, we have to settle, we have to have kids, we have to whatever, right? As long as they keep it kind of casual with some possibility, you're like, yeah, I don't mind. We could see what happens, right? So that's that. Let's see, people who are in a 3rd party who are people who are maybe like in a very complicated situation. I kind of talk about it. You guys will have to decide something. So yeah, with the child, and so yeah, I covered that. So now let's take a look at the diagonal. The diagonal, we have the fox, the snake, and the child. So the beginning is going to be kind of tricky. It's not going to be a very smooth type of like decision. The decision is not going to be easy, because look, no matter how we do it, there's the snake right in the middle. Things are very, very complicated. Even if you're single, things are very complicated. There's like, do I really want to be in a relationship? But then I have to like compromise. I have to do this. That's why if whoever you meet, they keep it kind of casual, they keep it kind of playful, they don't put a lot of pressure on you, then you're like, okay, fine. Otherwise, if they make things really complicated, you're just going to be like, I don't know, right? And plus, like over here, we do have the work stuff like right in the middle of all these too. So maybe there is going to be some sort of a work change too. Maybe you have to travel. Maybe you have to relocate to a different place for a short time, for a short time, for a long time. It's like kind of up in the air. You don't know. Things are kind of complicated because there is a new beginning over here. And then with the snake and the fox, yeah, work situation could get very, very complicated for you. And so everything, you still prioritize your work, I feel like. And so whatever you do, you always prioritize your work. And so if it conflicts with the work situation, then you're going to be like, I'm going to have to think about it, right? And then also I feel like there is a new start with your work situation. And so that also will affect how you see or how how you decide on relationship in the future in then 3 months or so. So I feel like there is a possibility of meeting someone. If you're single, if you are in a very complicated love situation, there is going to be a decision that's going to come up and you're going to decide something by the end of the 3 months. But everything is heavily rely upon also like your work situation and all that. Okay, so that's what I see for pile number 2. If this resonated, that's great. If it helped, if you have anything you would like to share with me, you can leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel under my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so for pile number 3, this is the pile that you chose. Okay, so we have what's gonna happen in the next 3 months for pile number 3 in love. So what's happening for pile number 3 if in love in the next 3 months. Okay. Ooh, the book. Interesting. The garden. Ooh, the woman's out. It's a general reading, so even the woman's out where it's genderless, it could be you or your person. The mice. Fox. Interesting. Interesting. Okay. All right, so what's going to happen in the next 3 months? All right, we're going to talk about the past first and then the present. So if any one of these, since it's a general reading, that that you resonated with, okay, this might be the pile for you. If past resonated for you, or if the present resonated, either one or both, even crazier if both actually fitted. All right, so for the past, we have the book, the mice, and the letter. The book, something is being hidden, something is not being revealed to you in the past. The mice, you know, it's worry. Could be also something about decreasing. So maybe, okay, this is what happened in the past because we have the letter. So maybe there was some sort of a communication that really worried about, really worry you. Maybe there was a decrease of communication, like text being sent, or just like, and then so you're not sure of what this person is feeling about you. You're like, and there, it feels like there's a lot of like unspoken words between the two of you, and then one person not being honest about their feeling, and then when you ask or when they ask about you, you could be like, oh, well, you kind of beat around the bush a little bit because you don't want to say it. Or it could be your person, you know, kind of beat around the bush a little bit because they don't want to reveal what they are truly thinking. And so, and then the communication maybe was getting less, right? And so you're just like, something is up, right? And you're just not unsure, and it kind of worries you. So maybe you're thinking, do they have somebody else? Or maybe your person thinking like, do you have someone else? It could be a third party, but it might not, okay? But there's just like unspoken things. Okay, so that is for people who are in a relationship. And if you're single, okay, in the past, I feel like you don't reveal a lot about how you feel. Maybe when you meet someone that you really like, you kind of like to keep things kind of closed. And plus you always worry, maybe what if this person don't like me? So you think about a lot of things, right? And then you don't really communicate how you feel about people or about the person that you like. So that could be that, okay, if you're single. So you're not very good at communicating your feeling. You're more of a warrior. You think about things that hasn't even happened yet, and then you kind of you plan ahead, I feel like, or you want to plan ahead, and then so that kind of refrained you from making any actions. So that's that. All right, so let's take a look at the present. The present right now is the Garden, the Fox, and the Cavalier, which is the Rider. The Rider in the Garden, that's really not great. And the Fox is like an ambassador. They know how to talk. They're very, very charming. The Rider is a very charming person. The Garden is all about parties and meeting people and social stuff. I know if you're watching this during COVID, it's a little bit difficult, but a lot of places have opened up, and so there is a possibility of still like meeting someone via social circumstances, depending on where you are. But if not, Garden and Fox could also just be, at workplace, right? Where you work. So co-workers, if you can actually, I know a lot of places, maybe they don't work from home anymore. You do have to go back to work at the actual facility. So there is a possibility of meeting more people right now. And the possibility of meeting someone who is very, very charming. And so if you are single and right now you are being surrounded by people who are very, very charming, very good looking, very much of your type, I would say. But just be careful with the Fox. It could be kind of shallowy. You only see the outer appearance and not really digging deep into things. So like they may seem like they're a really good catch on the surface, but you might want to talk to them a little bit more, find out more about them instead of jumping right into it, okay? It's just a little warning because of the Fox being a very kind of tricky person and only telling you things that you want to hear. So you want to be a little bit more careful. Because it could be a fling type of situation too right now. So you might be in a fling situation and they're not ready to settle. They still want to meet more people. So maybe you're in a situationship type of thing. So that's in the present for people who are single or kind of single, right? Because you don't know how to define that relationship with this person. If you are in a relationship with the Fox right in the middle in the Garden, I feel like there is a lot of temptations outside, maybe, or maybe you guys are just meeting a lot of people, both of you, or one of you are meeting a lot of people. There are other possibilities that you're like entertaining. And then you're not, you're trying to keep things kind of hidden from your partner. And then maybe that's why, there's the mouse and the letter being like kind of, there's a decrease in communication. And so like it worries your partner, or your partner is meeting people and they're not telling you about it. And so kind of worries you, like what is going on, what's happening. So there is that. If not, then it's just that work could be very busy, but it's not that the workload itself is very busy, but it's like a lot of social stuff is happening right now, and so it's just like interpersonal things that you have to be really careful and tell and say things that people want to hear. You want to be a charmer, or your person want to be a charmer at places and stuff like that, or you just tell things to your partner, things that they want to hear, because you want things to be good. You don't want any like complications, but then it may make your partner worry, or your partner not telling you the whole truth and everything would worry you a lot. So that's the present. All right. Now, there might be somebody also coming to visit. So there's like a lot of like maybe social gatherings, like, you know, like we're talking about. So there's temptations. I would say really like there are temptations if you are in a relationship right now. There are temptations that maybe you're thinking, you or your partner are thinking like, ooh, there's somebody that's really good looking, really, really my type. But not that you're gonna make anything, you're gonna make any movement or anything or gonna act upon it, but like it's tempting. So now, moving into the future. So if those resonated, moving into the future, we have the Lady, the Tower, and the Stork. The Stork being something is moving. The Tower is, well, the Tower combined with the Fox is very much of like talking about workplace. So there is maybe, you know, work like moving up in status. Like, so like maybe over here, there's a lot of like I said, the parties, social gathering, work type of things. So in the moving into the future, your relationship is, I know it's a relationship reading, but it's about work, like being your status being elevated. So maybe you would be able to make more money. Like I said, it could be you or your person. So you or your person could be moving up in status at work, right? Or there might be something changing in your relationship because of work. Okay, so maybe you have to move because they're sending you or your person to another city, to another place, like relocation, okay, for a job purpose, okay. So that might change the dynamics of your relationship in the next 3 months. Or maybe the Tower, there might be changing you, not within the company, but maybe the switch between work. So, you know, you or your person is switching jobs. And because of that, your dynamic in the relationship might change as well. The Tower, usually in the love reading, it could also be your, you know, being alone and lonely. So maybe because of jobs situation, you or your person might kind of feel alone a little bit, or being left out, especially I know we're talking about the present and the past and the present, but if we read all 9 as together, because of your the job and all that stuff, you're feeling alone because of the job. There may be a decrease in communication, okay, and so you're feeling a little lonely. And the Stork being pregnant, so there's the Stork and the Rider. I feel like there might be, and then the Letter, the Book, and the Lady. With these cards, I feel like there is also a possibility coming in the next 3 months that there is, for people who are looking to get pregnant, there is that possibility of getting that news that, oh my gosh, I'm going to be a mom, I'm going to be a dad. There's going to be a possibility of, you know, getting pregnant, right? Something not being revealed, but then you found out about it, like, oh my gosh, like the good news, I'm going to be a parent. I think for most of you, it's a happy news, okay? But others of you, I don't think it's coming in as a surprise. So there is like maybe family being, or the relationship being elevated as well, okay? If not, then there's a move of some sort. Okay, so that's what I see for pile number 3. Coming in the next 3 months, your relationship dynamics might change due to a job situation, or also you might be getting pregnant or getting the news of getting pregnant. It could be you or your partner getting pregnant. Could be you're getting news from somebody else getting pregnant, and then that will make you think about, you know, do we want to move our relationship into the next level, right? and that. Okay, so that's what I see for pile number 3. And if you have anything you would like to share with me, you can leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel under my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye. All right, so for those of you that chose pile number 4, let's take a look at what is going to happen in the next 3 months in your love life. What's going to happen in the next 3 months in your love life. What's going to happen in the next 3 months in your love life. Okay, pile number 4. Ooh, we have the Garden. The Cross. Ooh, oh my gosh. All these difficult cards. Okay, we have the Letter. Okay, Fish. There. Okay, we have some nice cards on the bottom and then some difficult cards on the top. Okay, this is kind of an interesting read. All right, so what's going to happen in the next 3 months for pile number 4? Let's talk about the past and the present, and if you resonated with that, then this is the pile for you, or either the past or present. If it resonated, this is probably the pile for you. Okay, if both resonated, that's amazing since it's a general reading. All right, so for the past, we have the Garden, the Mountain, and the Bear. The Bear could also mean, you know, mother, female figure, right, female, older lady type of older lady with, you know, in the family or type of thing, mother bear, right? But it also means supervisors, managers, and that type of things. With the Garden, it's like interpersonal relationships, social gatherings, parties, etc., etc. The Mountain being something heavy, something difficult. Sometimes it means travel, but I think with the combinations, I don't see travel as much. But I do see a lot of like weight, because we got the Bear and the Mountain. So I feel like in the past, okay, you feel like interpersonal relationships are burdensome, are difficult. Like just talking to people, making friends, and meeting people. So I feel like maybe you're more of an introverted type of person. So like trying to meet people is very difficult for you. You just feel very like wary of it. You hate it. You feel every time you go out, you're like, I'd rather be alone. I want to be at home. So you really don't like, especially like this having this on the side too. So it's just like you hated it. It could be because there was some kind of abusive things that happened, you know, people taking advantage of you or something like that. So I think you're just having a very hard time building relationships with people, and you don't really like going on to parties and stuff like that. So with if you're single, that's what's happening. So I feel like maybe you have been single for a very long time, or if you are in a relationship, you tend to find someone who's a little overbearing, who you're more like submissive. You kind of just accept a lot of things. You're like, okay, but then you feel like heavy and right? Or vice versa. You could be the person who's very overbearing and heavy and oh my gosh, and then your person is like, oh my gosh, stop, right? So that could be that too. Like in the past, the people that you've been with or something like that have been telling you that, you gotta stop being so protective, stop being so overbearing, stop nagging and all that stuff. So that's that. And let's see. If you are in a relationship, either you or your person might feel like the relationship is a lot to handle. It's not moving, it's not going anywhere. And I feel like constantly you or your person are thinking about what are some other opportunities. So you guys are a little bored about your relationship in the past, okay? So you're thinking about what are some other possibilities outside. It's something that you think about. I don't think you act on it because it's on the top, and there's no action cards right here, but it's something that you guys keep thinking about. So that could be that if you are in a relationship. But if you're single, then I just feel like you feel meeting people and making friends are just very difficult and very troublesome and hard and tiring for you. Or you prefer people who are a little bit older and a little bit wiser. I think the only people that maybe you associate yourself with are your coworkers, your managers, and stuff like that. So I think your social circle is kind of small. Okay. So you don't really meet people outside of that social circle. So then it's very difficult for you to meet someone. So now in the present, so if that resonated, you can keep listening and then we'll talk about the future. Or over here, let's talk about the present. The present, we have the cross, the letter, and the bouquet, which is a little bit better. But I feel like you're still having a little, if you're single and you're kind of the introvert type, I feel like you still have trouble communicating with people. You still hated it. You rather communicate with God, with the spiritual beings. You feel, you're actually quite gifted in that. And that's why I feel like these 6 cards, you're a very introverted person. You like being in your own presence. You can keep yourself company very, very well. You might even write, okay? Maybe you're quite artsy, I feel like. And you like being alone. Over here, we have the bouquet and the cross. I feel like cross sometimes could be about destiny and stuff like that. With the bouquet, there is some kind of a gift coming your way. Not necessarily relationship, but I feel like presently you feel pretty happy. Even though there is the cross right here, but I feel like it's more for your mind and more for your spiritual being. You're actually feeling quite happy. You feel good, but still it's more I feel like the single alone type of energy, right? There you might be communicating with someone, just maybe over here with the letter, I feel like maybe you are on some sort of a dating app or some kind of a friendship app that you use, but you're happy with that. You don't really necessarily want to meet. You just you feel more comfortable talking to people via letters or texts than to talk to people, right, in person. So you feel kind of happy with just, meeting people over social media or something like that. Or just, communicating. If you have religious beliefs, you talk to your gods and goddesses or spirits, if you're a spiritual person, universe or something like that. You're just kind of, being happy alone, more very, very introvert type of person. Or maybe you write, you journal, that type of thing. If you are in a relationship, you're not single, with this present over here, I feel like right now there is a little bit of difficulty in communication, but you guys are trying to make it work because we have the bouquet. So the communication is not super smooth or anything, but I think the both of you want to make it work. Okay, because of the bouquet. The bouquet is just very, very powerful, I feel like. and making the cross not as a harsh card. So you're trying to make the relationship work. You're trying to overcome whatever it's going on in the past. Because over here, remember we talked about there is that possibility of like thinking the relationship is getting kind of boring, kind of too stable, not changing much, and or even overbearing. We still have the cross right here. So the overbearingness is still there, but you guys are trying to make it work. You guys are actually now communicating and make things work. There might be more like love words, love messages, exchanges. So things are getting better, I feel like. Okay, things are going into a better moving to a better situation right now at the moment. Maybe some of you are turning more spiritual as well. Both of you or one of you, and then so you're a little more forgiving, and you don't always feel like impatient, like okay, whatever, that type of thing. You are more forgiving, more loving, I feel. Or your person, okay, one of you or both of you. So now that's moving into the future. Moving into the future, we have the whip, which is not a very good card, but we have two very, very, very great cards. We have the clover and the fish. So the fish is plenty, abundance. The clover is luck. So I feel like these three cards being side by side each other kind of takes away the heaviness a little bit from this. I feel like not only you're more introverted, I feel like a lot of the times you do think pessimist, okay? I don't think you're necessarily negative, but you're a very pessimist. So you're introverted and pessimistic, right? It could be because maybe from in the past, you could have been abused, you could have been taken advantage of. So you always see things, the darker side, or you always expect the worst type of things. Because this is like all these two difficult cards are up on the top. It's like the conscious level, right? But then deep down inside, you're kind of lucky. Or you unconsciously, like you don't know that you're actually a very lucky person. Like if you don't actually see that, things could be even worse sometimes. But so I feel like you're actually a very, very lucky person. So with this reading, I feel like maybe this message is trying to get to you is that you actually are a very lucky person. You might not see it that way, but sometimes a lot of like horrible things might be a blessing in disguise, and it's okay to expect the worst and be a pessimistic. I mean, I'm more of a pessimist too, but I try to see things on the brighter side too. Like I expect the worst, but then I want to believe that people are still not so bad and horrible. I still want to come out from more of a positive point of view, right? And then, but at the end, if they prove themselves to be horrible and evil, I'll be like, I knew it. I don't know if you're that kind of person, but it has that kind of feel to me. Okay, when I saw these, I was like, all right. So there is some kind of an argument because the whip can talk about arguments. So there might be so maybe you guys are starting to open up a little bit. So there might be a little bit of arguments going on and see things. Maybe there are arguments about like money issues, okay, money things. Maybe the way that you guys spend money, you guys don't agree upon it. Or money could be the center of like what you guys are arguing about. Maybe one person spent everything and then you're like, okay, we don't have money to pay bills. What are we gonna do? That kind of thing. So if you are in a relationship, you guys might be arguing, and especially Clover is little money, and then fish is lots of money. So I definitely feel like there is like money is like a huge issue coming up in the next 3 months that is going to be the major topic that you guys are gonna fight about and talk about and try to resolve. So this not necessarily mean like abuse or something. Well, maybe you guys are abusing your money, right? And then it becomes an issue, and you guys have to talk about it and try to resolve that because how money was being spent in the next 3 months or so. But in general, I feel like relationship wise, I don't. Okay, maybe there's another with the fish over here. There might be something else that you guys might talk about or argue about is if you're in a relationship, maybe having kids or something like that, because this could be like, sperm. So maybe you guys could talk about, or motherhood right here, right? So maybe you guys are thinking about, being parents. Maybe one of you want to be a parent or have kids, but the other doesn't. And so there might be a little bit of an argument or not seeing things eye to eye about that. So that's something coming up in the next 3 months. So if you're single, will you be able to meet someone in the next 3 months or something like that? Well, like I said, I feel like you're very introverted and you prefer to be alone. Bouquet, there is some sort of a gift coming in for you right now. And maybe you are meeting people like over social media, but you're kind of happy where that is. Will you meet? I feel there is a possibility, but then with the whip coming up here, there's something that's going to happen that maybe you're going to be discussing over maybe how money is being spent, and then with this person online or multiple people online, and then you realize like, oh, well, or maybe you guys don't see the future together, like how you plan the future and that type of things. You guys are not, the values of things, you guys don't see eye to eye. So there might be a little discussion or arguments about that. But will you meet this person? I don't really see meeting. I feel like you guys are still going to be in like your little bubble and want to be in your safe comfort zone a little bit. So even if you argue, it's like over social media or something like that and not like face to face. Because you try to avoid this face-to-face as much as possible, right? So I feel like for pile number 4 in the next 3 months, you might be talking to people online, but I don't see, if you consider like online just talking to each other like a relationship, then sure, that would be that. But I don't really see a face-to-face thing, right? Even like the arguments are over like, text and letters and that type of thing. So, but there is some like, blessing in disguise. And plus I think you enjoy in your little bubble. If anything, it would be more of a suggestion, because this is not in the cards. That's a suggestion coming from me, that maybe you want to step outside of your comfort zone and start meeting people. But since I see over here, meeting people is such a burden, and you just find it really troublesome. You prefer not to. That unless you change that mindset, I don't think you'll be able to meet someone, at least not in the next 3 months or so. Okay. But you might have some luck in money, because we have all these 3 cards together. So besides love, I think there might be some luck in money, but then you might abuse this luck a little bit. So maybe once you get this money, you got a lump sum of money, you got super lucky and stuff like that. Maybe there's a lotto coming up. You're going to spend it. Right? And you're going to spend it all. So, and there might be some difficulty with money issue right now too. So, I feel like money might be a really big issue for pile number 4. If you're single, I don't see that you will want to meet someone, or there is someone coming in. But if you are in a relationship, you guys will probably argue about money a little bit, and then also about like whether you want to have kids or not, that type of things. So that's what I see for pile number 4, and I hope this resonates a little bit. Since this is not the greatest pile out of all 4, it's actually better that you don't resonate, right? But if you have anything you would like to share with me, you can leave it in the comment section below. And don't forget to like, share, or subscribe to my channel under my video, and turn on that notification bell if you haven't already. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Bye.